So this is the next part in the major rebuild of the front end, which was sort of unavoidable if I wanted to do it well. This is the radiator duct panel, which I've just removed. You can see the really bad welding that somebody did beforehand, and I'm going to have to make a new one of these and a new one of the opposite side, and I've cut them out of the front end completely. And I was always a little bit sort of wary when I do this, because it's sort of the point of no return really, but I figure that it can't be much worse than what was there originally, because what was there really had to go. It's just useless. And also now I'm getting a bit more confident with this, because the stuff I've done, although not perfect, it's actually not bad. It still needs a bit of panel beating, but I think it'll come up okay. So really the only alternative is to cut it out and make new pieces. So that's the next step. The thing about this is that it allows me to get right inside here and knock out some of these dents, which I really couldn't get at while the duct panel was in place. I've ordered a new one of these. Hopefully it'll be here early next week. It's the 10th of April today, and I started the project on, I think, about the 10th of October. So we're making reasonably good headway, but this is very time consuming stuff. Well, I haven't made a film for quite a long time actually. It's the 11th of June, and I've been working on and off on the car. Haven't achieved as much as I'd hoped, but it's a very big job. I've made a new bonnet rest support here, as you can see, which is extremely difficult, and I've just welded that in. There are lots of repairs on the inside which look worse than they are. They're really not bad at all. I'll just go around to the other side. It's a bit clearer here. There's the new bonnet support, which I'm relatively pleased with. I think it's okay. I think it fits alright, and I've fitted in the new duct panel, but it hasn't been welded yet. Well, since I've done any filming, it's the 6th of August 2010, and I've welded in a new boot floor, which is quite a good panel. Very difficult job to do, because these sections here had also rusted out, so I had to make complete new sections on the top and the bottom and weld them in. And what I've done here, there was a patch that had to go in the back there because that was all banged out, so I made a patch and welded that in. It doesn't show much when it's finished. And this is the underside of the boot, which I've put a coat of primer on. And what I'm going to do here is put some bitumized underseal on there, because it doesn't show, and it will get quite a lot of water up in there, so it might help keep away the rust. So that's going to go all around here and all around this area up there, which sits on the chassis. But I've got some red enamel that I've bought, which I think pretty well matches the original carnation red. It's not exactly the same, but it's pretty close. So I'm going to put a coat of that enamel on here just to see what it looks like, and then I'll put the bitumized paint on the bottom. So that's about it. And there's the new boot floor has come up alright, looks good from underneath. The other thing I've done is I've made 2 seat belt anchors, which will be fitted up in the back here, in there. These are very similar to standard equipment or optional equipment that was available at the time. So hopefully they'll be a really good fit for the seat belts. They've got to be welded in. And those holes there, a hole just there, which I thought was original, of course, shouldn't be there. So that's got to be dealt with as well. Well, half an hour of spraying, and it's come up all right. The colour's terrific, very, very close to the original colour. Doesn't show up very well, of course, on camera, but I actually sprayed a bit of the original colour, the new colour, just in there on top of the old colour, and really the match is so close it makes no difference. So I'm very pleased that this appears to be a good copy of Carnation Red. It's quite bright, but it's not orange, and I think it's going to look fabulous on the body of the car. So this is just a gloss enamel now. I haven't been too flash with the underside here because it's of course it's not seen, and also it I'll probably put a coat of bitumen paint on there under body seal just to protect it a bit from the elements. Not 100% sure about that yet, but it's, I guess, quite exciting because I've just put on the first bit of colour, and it's nearly 12 months since I took the car off the road. I quite like the paint. It's dried very quickly. Gloss is a bit variable, but I think that's probably my spraying more than anything else. But the purpose of this exercise really was to put some colour on and just have a look at it and make sure that it was all good before I bought the rest of the paint for the car, and I'm quite pleased that this colour will do very nicely. So there we go, first bit of paint on.